so now you're backtracking.
Yeah. No, it's like crazy. You're so clear now.
You've been missing all my my British accent and all my jokes.
But now I
can't believe how many people were pissed off about it.
I can't talk over you now.
Yeah, well, you can't bully me, you mean?
What's going on? What are you doing?
No, look, man. Just listening to the puppy. Oh, look at that.
Hi.
God.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
What's going on? How are you?
Let me just make you bigger.
All right. For those of you who don't know, obviously you guys know Ben from last week. Carly Thornton is Luke's ex-girlfriend. Is that what we should say? Or
is that what
how about you? I don't know.
Carly Thornton, Luke's ex-girlfriend.
Okay, I don't. All right, you know what? Listen, I'm not really a good host. I'm just trying to do the best I can. Carly, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everybody who you are.
I am Carly Thornton, and I am one of Luke's very, very good friends. I think that's probably the way to put it right now.
Is that the best way to put it?
Me and Luke were in a relationship for 5.5 years, and then we kind of parted, but we became better friends, not together.
Yeah.
So we just lent on each other for everything. He was a big, massive part of my life. I was a massive part of his life. Through business, any relationships, he would come over and kind of just chill out and offload. Offload with mouth, nothing else. But
I don't think anybody thought that. But
Ben's like, oh my God.
Now I know why you guys got along so well. Okay, that makes sense. Anyway, so Ben, what do you think? Check it out. I just finished the dye job. What do you think?
You're gonna tell everyone? I thought you were gonna keep it a secret.
I don't think it's a secret. Everybody sees my beard go gray and then black. And
I do mine every now and then because I got a little bit of ginger in mine, right? It gets a little, orange.
Yeah.
So no, long. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, Carly. That's why I was late. I had to dye. I had to dye my beard. It was just getting out of hand. So I was like,
it looks good.
Thanks.
Good.
Thank you.
But,
anyway, what's going on with you guys?
I can't really see what Ben's looks like though.
Yeah,
Ben's quite dark.
I can't grow a fucking beard to save my life.
Well, Ben got a microphone this week.
No, you're normally like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Last week, Ben didn't have a microphone. This week, we got a microphone, but now we need to get you a light because you're a little dark now.
Jesus Christ. Anything else? I am buying a plain white backdrop. It's not because of the podcast. I need it for some other videos I'm doing. So hopefully in the next few weeks, I'm going to have a plain white backdrop so you don't see the mess. This is a spare bedroom.
Get a brick wall one like Luke had.
I'm not getting a fucking brick wall. The Carly got in the fucking brick wall background.
Is that your fault?
Well, you know what? I was going to have that back, but now I've just got a bloody wall instead.
So you have Luke's dog, correct?
I do. Wicket, yeah.
How's that going?
Yeah, they've obviously we had Chewy together, so they're keeping each other company. They're cool, but Wicket. My God, Wicket farts like anything, though, man. It's like, what? It's typical of Luke, isn't it?
Luke never told us that part. Yeah. How are you? How are you,
Carly?
Huh?
I said, and you. Don't just blame that on Luke. I've heard you rip the leggings.
How are you making out, Carly? After.
The other day was a hard day. It's weird. I still find it very surreal. And I don't know if I find it more surreal because we're in lockdown anyway. So I don't know if I would be any different if it wasn't lockdown because we'd see each other, we'd grab a coffee or whatever. Mm-hmm. Whereas at the minute we wouldn't have seen each other anyway. But I think it's more the fact of, you go do your day-to-day bits and then all of a sudden I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Then it just hits me again, especially if it's something that I would normally text him and say, babe, what do you think of this? Or, you know? So it's not having that person to lean on, like, massively.
Yeah, kind of.
Well,
Go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say, I was telling you, Fouad, that Luke would help out quite a lot with Carly's glutewear business. Like, he was always,
Yeah.
and we joked about this because I always used to get annoyed at him for helping you out and not giving our business enough attention, right? But he was always, like, from what I saw anyway, Carly can tell me more about it, but he was always very involved with, like, giving ideas and being creative.
So what is your business, Carly? Just so everybody knows, can you tell everybody what your business is?
Glutewear, it's a female fitness brand. And Luke actually thought of the name. Okay. We were sitting down and I was coming out with names and then he just came out with it. So, like, he was the creative part. Like, whenever he used to go and see Leo on a Sunday, he would be driving home, he'd ring me and say, I've got this idea, this is what you should be doing. And, you know, he would always be the one to have different ideas. And if I ever got any samples, I would screenshot them and ask him what he thought of this. And, you know, we would really have, like, in-depth conversations about it. He loved it. But yeah. I think, as like Ben did used to get annoyed because Luke said to me, he keeps on having a go at me because I'm interested in your business, but I have my own businesses and, like, I'm just not interested, and Ben just hates it.
Driving me nuts.
Yeah, but he's, in his defense, he's working with, like, women's pants and he gets to look at asses all day long.
You haven't seen my ass in pants yet,
I have, actually. I saw those white tights on your Instagram. It's not that good.
Oh, the white tights are amazing. Yeah, but the thing is, Ben always wears black underwear with his white tights. He does it on purpose. Like,
what would you do that for?
Exactly.
Practicality. You don't want to clean that mess up afterwards.
What are you talking about? You shit your pants while you're fucking working out?
You don't want to leave skids in your whites on a leg day.
My ass is clean when I go to the gym. I don't know.
Yeah, we're all right over here.
Well, all right. You guys are better humans than I am.
I've never ever worn white tights. I bought one pair once, and I put them on, and I'm like, this can't happen. Like, unless I'm absolutely shredded, because you can see everything. You can see, like, every little imperfection. So I'm like, unless I'm absolutely peeled, I'm not wearing these tights. And I just never got around to it. Anyways.
If you diet now, you can.
Yeah, I got it. Speaking of diet, Carly, do you compete at all anymore? Do you do anything like that or no?
No, I retired in 2017, so I've just downsized now.
Yeah, you look great.
Thanks.
So you're just modeling for your own business and that's it?
Yeah, I'm a fitness model.
Well,
I've gone past that.
I didn't mean it like that.
I'm of the models now.
And Ben, you posted some pictures like a couple days ago. You look pretty good now.
You think? Oh, God, I was beating myself.
You look small, but you know.
No, I don't like my physique at all. It's like a lot of things. I've had a lot of issues, and it's just I'm never going to be happy with it. I've just got to get on with it and do the best I can with it, and just kind of ignore the fact that I've not improved some things, and some things are worse now. Like my leg fullness is way worse than it was. Like I've lost it because I couldn't train.
Why is that for somebody who squats so heavy and trains so hard, and like it's not just heavy, it's all a lot of volume too? Like I would expect your legs to be your best body part.
Oh, they were with certainly my first few shows. My body's certainly come up a lot in the last 3 years. But then, especially the last 6 months, I shifted across to powerlifting first off in September, and that meant I was strong, but I was losing that fullness and that volume look. And then I got the back injury, and I just couldn't do anything on my legs, the lower half. So it's all upper body stuff, and then. I don't know. You know what it's like. You're never going to be happy with anything. And I kind of just have to accept it's not going to be perfect. It never is, right? Yeah. No prep is ever perfect. I'm going to hate how I look, but I'm just going to work with what I've got. Yeah. And do the best I can with what I have. So Denise was tearing me apart because my front double, she was like, you've got no fucking lats. I was like, I know I have no fucking lats. She's got a good eye. So she knows, she's been in this business for a while. I told you, she tans all the Olympians before they get on stage. So she's, you know, she knows what she's looking at. So she was like, you know, your lats, because I'm worried about how wide my waist is. I was telling you.
Yeah.
And then obviously where my lats don't flare as much on the front shots, it doesn't help things, right? So
Your front double, yeah.
So she's going to do some grafting on my lats over the next few weeks, and we'll see. But I'm just going to try.
It's always been like that, because I've never noticed that with your lats.
They've never been great.
Yeah.
I've always
Carly, do you think guys? Sorry to interrupt you, Ben. Do you think bodybuilders are weird because we talk like chicks? Like I know women are always looking at themselves like, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to, you know, am I too fat? Am I too skinny? And guys usually like whatever, but bodybuilders are like chicks.
Men, you're worse than us women. You are worse than us women, and I think it definitely takes a certain woman to have to put up with that. But
how does that? Can you explain that a little bit? Because I'm sure there's a lot of women. There's actually women that watch this podcast and they want to get an idea of how to deal with their men that are like crazy competitors and they, you know, they're driving them nuts and shit like that. Or they compete and they need to, you know, get their boyfriends in line and be like, look, I want to compete. You got to deal with my shit. So can you give anybody a little bit of advice on a relationship standpoint between a man and a woman?
Between a man and a woman, or just I mean, like bodybuilder. I think there has to be you have to have respect of each other's space, for one, because like especially when you're dieting, a lot of the time like you want your own space and you don't want someone in your ear all the time saying, oh, what's up, why are you so quiet? And you know, you have to remember that they might just want to walk upstairs and have their time alone, and you just got to let them get on with it. And just like, you know, I mean, I know that you guys are critical because you're going to be critical about your physiques, because that's, you know, you're being judged on your physique. You're not being judged on anything else. And yeah, I mean, it is hard being with a bodybuilder if you've never been with a bodybuilder in the past, because, you know, you do have to make sacrifices. Like you can't go out all the time, or you can't, you know, yes, you can go and say out, or, you know, maybe go to the cinema and bring your food with you, but, you know, there's a lot of things that you have to make sacrifices for, and you just have to kind of acknowledge things like that.
My wife had that issue when we met. She had never dated a bodybuilder before, and like after the first year we were together, we broke up because she couldn't.
Really? Yeah.
Well, yeah, because she took a lot of it personally, like the dieting, right? Like, you know, when you said you have to go upstairs and let that person have their space, she didn't understand that it wasn't a personal thing. I just didn't want to talk, or I didn't want to be, you know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're dieting, you get in that headspace where you're just like, I just need to be alone. Yeah.
And I think also, I mean, because obviously I was competing as well, so it's probably slightly different because I knew how, you know, like you can feel. But it's even things like, obviously, you know, you're dieting and all you're focused on is the show. You don't care anything about anything around you, and emotionally you become quite numb. You know, so anything like I remember times that like we could have split up, or, you know, something major could have happened and I wouldn't have cared because you're emotionally numb. And I think like, you know, when your sex drive isn't as high and things like that, I think that if someone's not used to that, then they can you know, they can take that personally. I know Luke gave you some pointers on that, but
Luke's pointers would have gotten me divorced. Had I actually followed what he fucking said, I'd be on the street. I'd be on my ass right now in the street.
Well, I think.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it's important. This is where I see a lot of people making mistakes. Is when you're dieting, it's one thing, right? And you acknowledge that, okay, I'm going to be a selfish prick for 16 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The mistake I keep seeing is they don't let off in the off season.
Yeah.
And they don't give back. They don't give back to their other half. They just carry on with, I've got to get my meals in. I've got to train. Yeah. Hey, if you're training 5-6 times a week in your off season, relax the fuck off. Like, get down to 4. Give your wife at least a day or two where you date, you go do stuff. go and do something fun that's not based around the fucking, even if you both like going and training, that's fine. Go and train together, but then go and do something. Go and be a couple, be normal. Because the off season is the time where you've got to like kind of earn back those brownie points. To then when you do lock in, you say, hey, look, okay, maybe for the first 6 weeks of a diet, I can be semi-normal, but like I've even said, I'm going to become an arsehole. Like, I'm really sorry. I like, when I bring up my phone with her, I'm like, hey, can I just be a narcissistic prick for 2 minutes and talk to you about this? And she's like, sure. But I like caveat it, and then I say, okay, we're done with that. And you kind of box it off.
Yeah, I did I would do the same thing with Summer. I'd be like, look, for the next 3 months, I'm just not going to be me. But I promise you, when the 3 months are over, it's all you. So, and I know I agree with everything you said, Ben, because when the off season comes into play, you're like, okay, you start planning things around them. So like Thursdays and Sundays are my day off. So Thursdays and Sundays we would go do stuff. And I would have cheat meals like Wednesday and Saturday. And our thing is kind of like going out to dinner. So we would go out to dinner. And if you can't plan those things, man, you're not going to have a decent relationship. You got to be able to work your relationship into your bodybuilding career.
Yeah. I, to be fair, I found that hard, first of all. Like, Luke was the one who, like, initially when we were together, he was the one that when it came to off season, that's his off season, it's time to enjoy himself, etc. But for me, I found that mentally harder. So when I'd done a show, even though when we were prepping, we were like, oh, we're going to do this, we'll go on holiday, you know, we're going to go here or whatever. And then when I came off the show, I was like, right, now I've got to improve. Now I've got to do this. And for me, I mentally found it harder to switch off than he did. So I can see how some couples do find it hard. But I think it's like acknowledging that, you know, you work better when you do have your downtime as well. Like mentally you will, won't you? So
I think it's harder for women to switch off because I think it's,
watch your words.
Wow, that's what I said. I was about to, like, I better be careful with this one. No, what I was going to say is it's harder for women to get in shape than it is for men, whether it be because of hormones or whatever. So I feel like when girls get into the off season, if they get sloppy, if they get really out of shape, they have to work way harder than the guy does to get back in shape.
But it's even more so, like, if you and I balloon up, it's socially acceptable, right?
Yeah, nobody cares.
It's like, oh, he's a big, puffy, fat-ass bodybuilder. No one gives two fucks. Yeah, a girl walking around and she's ballooned up. Everyone's like, whoa, she was skinny like 2 months ago. And
Well, it's partially...
that's very true.
Yeah, it's partially on their psyche, but also, like, even if they don't care about that, they have to now worry about getting 30 pounds off. And 30 pounds to a woman is a lot harder than 30 pounds. Like, my average is 40 to 50 pounds in the off season. I usually gain over stage weight. Whereas if a woman did that, it would be like a nightmare trying to peel that off. So anyway, my point was I understand why you were trying to stay a little more focused, and Luke could kind of relax a little bit probably because...
Yeah, it just made me feel uncomfortable when I was gaining all of that weight. Even though Luke, even in my peak off season, he was like, I'd love you 3 stone heavier. Like, he liked a big woman. I was like, babes, that's not happening.
I just remember that picture of you at King's. That's impressive. That picture at King's is fucking impressive.
Can we find it anywhere?
It must be somewhere. You got bigger traps than
I'm
Luke.
sure I've got it on my phone because obviously I was saving pictures. It's not one I've actually put on my the collage that I actually got of Luke.
It's not your display picture on Instagram, Carly. No.
Is it that bad?
Huh?
It's not your display picture on Instagram. I'm surprised.
No.
Honestly,
you know what? The funny thing is, at the time, like, I think I was about 180 pounds. And at the time, I looked at that photo and I was like, wow, this is awesome. I look as big as them. Like, it's just...
You did. Like, it's incredibly impressive. And the way... Because Luke and I used to train, and then Carly would train off on our own. And Carly would get after it. Carly trains fucking heavy.
I'm gonna give people an idea what Carly looks like. Just so, in case they've never been to her Instagram. Tell me if these are good photos or not.
No, they're not good. They're very old.
That's a good photo.
Just semi-porn all over the place.
Yeah, what is this, Carly? What are you doing here? Are you
Oh, don't Google.
Are you
might find something naughty.
What's going on, Ari? What do you do with these photos?
It's not what she does with those photos. It's what everyone else does with the bloody photos.
Oh, okay. I've got it. I have got it.
Yeah, but we're not going to be able to see it. That's not you, is it, Carly?
Where? That is, yeah.
That's you.
Yeah, that was when I was obviously.
Before she became a bikini girl.
What was your weight there?
I don't know. That was probably about 140 odd pounds.
You look great. Was that obviously before a competition?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
80 pounds.
Yeah, I was lean there.
So you're 140 there. What do you weigh?
There. Can you see that? Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to see that.
Yeah, you can.
Well, I kind of, yeah. Wait, let me stop the share so people it'll blow up a bit. Okay, try, let me see. Wow, what do you weigh there?
That was 180 pounds.
No,
that's next to Hollingshead, right? That's next to James.
Yeah, that's next to James Hollingshead.
You look bigger than James in that photo.
Yeah, I know.
So, okay, tell me what. Okay, this is 140. What is this? Is it still 140? Just a softer look?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I didn't ever kind of.
Have you always been around that weight, or did you?
Yeah, I'm probably around about 168 pounds right now, and don't really fluctuate that much. That's with the Anavar stance. That picture there, you can probably this one.
This
here.
one.
That one, I've got my. I don't know if you can see.
What's the one with Corinne?
Oh God, that was 2015 when I won my pro card.
That's the Anavar story, right?
That's the
Anavar.
What's the Anavar story? I want to know the Anavar story.
Sorry. Can I tell it, Carly?
Carly, tell it.
I know because it's so fake. It's so fake.
Tell the Anavar story. Carly misdosed her Anavar and was taking like a fucking truck ton of it.
I literally wasn't. You know what? Every single time Luke tells this story, it gets worse and worse.
All right. Well, the story I was told.
I want to know the story from the beginning. Tell me the story.
Right. Well, Carly was prepping. Well, you were getting ready for a show, right?
Yeah.
And that's Corinne.
I think that was Madrid.
Okay, so that's the girl with her is Corinne. That's Jordan Peters' other half, right?
Mm.
And Carly they planned to do a joint shoot together. This is the story that I was told, so Carly can correct me. This is what Luke told me. So they had Anavar, right? And this Anavar, there's either the 10 milligram per tablets or there's the 50s. And Carly was supposed to be taking like 20. So she was taking 2 pills. And then she, like, apparently before the shoot, for the last week, she upped it to 30. But she swapped the tubs around, so she now had the 50s.
Whatever.
Taking one.
I'm denying.
Okay, that's the story that Luke's told me several times.
Oh my God, Carly.
I'm denying it. You know what? I've actually got photos of when I did a photo shoot that oh my God, I was sickening.
How did it feel on 150 milligrams of Anavar?
Don't know because I didn't take it.
Okay. Yeah, I got a question. A lot of guys ask, and we never usually have females on the show, so I'm going to ask you.
Oh God.
No, it's not bad. I just want to know: is the gym a bad place for guys to pick up chicks? Like, if a guy sees a girl at a gym and he thinks she's hot, is it a bad place?
No, I wouldn't say so because I've met all my boyfriends at the gym. That's why at the minute I'm single because I can't go to the gym. No, I don't think it is because I think it's a good place. You know, like you probably don't look your best, do you? You smell, you're sweating, you know. So and all the women haven't they're not caked with makeup, so they've been sweating a bit. So you see them like probably one of their kind of, as they would say, they're probably one of their worsts.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But is it annoying to women? Like if a guy comes up and he's trying to talk to you while you're training, like, do you get annoyed or is there a time when it's best to do it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say do it while you're training.
Like cardio? If a girl's doing cardio, you can go up and talk to her? I'm trying to give some guys some help.
You know I'm
trying to do a service.
I'm trying to picture this Baywatch, like this babe, just like running on the treadmill, and then like you coming up to her and go, "Hey, babe."
I'm not gonna. That was not my thing. I don't do that. I met my wife outside of the gym, so yeah. I never feel See, I never feel like it's appropriate to bug anybody.
I wouldn't say while training. I think like if you're having eye contact, and then you've always got the gym bit where everyone chills out. Maybe you're making eye contact then, and then I don't know, check her Instagram out after.
Slide the DMs a little bit.
I guarantee that's how 90% of guys have picked up their girlfriends from the gym. They've gone away, stalked them on Instagram, found them, and started liking like 20 of their pictures.
Yeah.
Waited for a like back, and then they're in there.
See,
you guys love that, don't you? Like you like about 20 pictures of a girl, so it's like hint, hint, hint.
Oh, it's the most subtle kick in the, like dead leg, when you dead leg a girl when you're like 8 years old at school.
Yeah.
Did you fancy her? That's the new version of that. It's like go and fucking like every picture you can find of her.
Okay, so guys, we have one tip for you from Carly. Don't like 20 photos in a row.
19 is fine, but no more.
Try to do every other photo. Is that
okay? So then what happens though? Does the woman slide into your DMs, or do you have to then like the 20 pictures and then slide into a DM?
No,
How does it work?
For her to like a picture back, and then that's a green light. Now you've got an in.
Okay. But what happens if she then scrolls and finds a picture of, say, you and an ex, and that's the only picture she likes? What happens then? Do you just message her and go?
Red light.
That means you're in the friend zone. That's it. You're in the friend zone.
Pull the ejector lever and get out of there.
Okay, so see, I didn't have any of this shit. I sound like I'm so old now, but when I met Summer, there wasn't Instagram. So I had
the reason you sound so old.
Me and Luke met on Facebook. He messaged me on Messenger.
Yeah.
That's how we met.
Yeah, Luke likes the technology way. He said it avoids any issues.
He's lazy.
He can get in and out. There's no. Yeah, no, I think guys are lucky now. Yeah, I think that's a good strategy. So you see a girl at the gym, make eye contact, and then find her Instagram.
Yeah.
And then just shoot her a message.
I would probably more
if it was me and I was single today.
Yeah.
I would do that strategy, but I wouldn't like 20 photos. I would just go.
No,
I would
prefer.
Hey, I saw you at the gym.
I prefer a guy to kind of say, "Oh, I saw you at the gym tonight."
What cheesy line would work on you?
just I saw you at the gym. You're looking hot. I'll be like, thanks.
That's enough. That's good.
Can I have your number? Sure.
She's not joking.
I know. That's why I'm laughing. Oh God. Okay. We have like 300 questions or some shit to go through. Carly, you gonna go through some of this with us?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Wait.
Oh wait, I got something to ask you about first.
Yeah.
Well, are you gonna say the same thing I'm gonna say?
The poll.
Fuck you! I knew you were gonna say.
This fucking poll out of hand.
Okay, let's wait. Don't say anything. I want to ask Carly before.
Wait, are you gonna do the general one or the specific?
No,
one?
the specific one, because this one drives me absolutely batshit. So I'll ask you. I'm gonna ask you two questions. I'm gonna make the first one more specific. If you had to eat chicken and rice, do you eat chicken and rice with a fork or a spoon?
I always eat it with a spoon because I hated it how he always ate it with a fork because he spilled it everywhere.
Oh my God.
Are you serious? She's not as dumb as she looks.
Who the fuck eats chicken with a fucking spoon?
Chicken and rice.
Yeah, but why would you eat rice with a fork?
Because that's normal. You know, it's
not.
You know what I've realized? This is because in the bodybuilding industry, we're all meatheads and we're trying to shovel as much food as possible as we can. And the spoon allows you to shovel more food.
Exactly. You don't waste any of it. Nothing
but amongst like the normal population, nobody would eat chicken and rice with a spoon. Nobody. When was the last time you went to a restaurant and you sat down and there was a spoon and knife?
No, but there's a fork and a spoon.
No, it's usually a fork and a knife, and they bring you a spoon if you order soup.
Okay. Someone DM'd me this and said, ask for, I can't remember the exact thing, but he said, because you live in Canada, it snows up there, right? He said, it snows on your front yard.
Yeah.
You're going to use a shovel or a rake?
How does that make any fucking sense? It has nothing to do with the question.
Because same thing. You're still gonna. You try and use a rake or a. It's gonna slip through.
I'm just talking about society's norms. If you go to any decent restaurant, it's a fork and a knife, and they bring you a spoon for dessert, soup, or if you have a baby.
Yeah, but what happens if you go to an Indian and you order, say, like a chicken masala with rice? They're not going to bring you a knife.
Yeah, but that's like a stewy kind of dish.
No, it's not. It's exactly the same as chicken and rice.
Okay, fine. Whatever. You know what? I'll just say this. I'm absolutely blown away that it was even close. Like, so if you guys want to know the results of the poll, it was 53 to 47% picked spoon over fork.
Which you're calling the draw, right?
Which is pretty much a draw. Yeah, it's even.
Okay, I want to know which has slightly higher though.
The spoon won.
Yes.
I'm so shocked. I can't believe. Anyway, and I keep getting DMs from people with like their food and a spoon, and I'm like, can you please stop sending me your fucking food with?
Is that what I think? One of you put an Instagram story of a spoon. Is that what it is?
That's how good it is.
He's rubbing it in. Okay, so what if I said that? Well, this is probably going to be the same answer then. So if you had to pick a fork or spoon for the rest of your life, which one would you pick? You can only use one utensil, fork or spoon.
How is she taking this long?
She's trying to.
Carly,
she's trying to think of all.
It's not a trick question.
I'm just trying to think of all the things I eat because I'm thinking oats, spoon.
She's going through her daily meals. Meal 2.
Pizza.
I'll give you a hint. Spoon. I agreed with the spoon on that one because it'd be easier overall, I think. Okay. Anyway, now that Ben rubbed it in again, can we move on to the questions?
Go for it.
All right, let's do it. And Ben was making fun of me earlier because I couldn't get my fucking meal in. You know how much carbs was in that bowl, right?
Not the picture you sent me. You were whining like a bitch about
No, that was the end of the bowl. So I had a bowl of cream of rice with like 160 grams of carbs in it. It was like 140 grams or 150 grams of cream of rice or some shit.
And what did I reply to you? You sound like one of that one. What do I do if I can't get all my meals in? What are you going to reply?
I didn't say that. I said, I need an extra 10 minutes. I'm having trouble getting my meal in. I didn't say I wasn't.
Is that what you said about coming on here?
Yeah.
Well, you told me you were making coffee. So what was it?
Well, by the time I messaged you, I was onto the coffee.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. Oh, shit. I don't know if we should do this. So, Carly, last week we did a segment of the show called, like, Roast Me because this guy asked us to roast him live on the show. Yeah. And now we have another person asking us, and I don't know if we should do it, Ben, because it's like it seems a little bit easier with this guy.
I like easy.
Do you think we should do it?
No. Have at it. It did go. It seemed pretty popular. So, either roast.
Well, what if the guy gets offended though?
That's on him.
He said, "Roast me and my girlfriend." I'm not going to roast his girlfriend.
Okay, Carly can roast the girlfriend. So, listen. Anyone that does it from this point on saw what we did last week, and that guy didn't get an easy ride. So it's
this is Julian.
Okay, straight off the bat, I'm going to say he's punching above his weight here.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, but you might have a really nice personality.
You might have a massive dick.
Maybe, yeah. Julian's probably got a humongous hammer because there's no way this works.
Which is a compliment to him, by the way.
Well, that's better than the guy last week. Remember, the guy last week got a little pecker. So, all right, let's see here. Well, you can see he's romantic, so he takes care of her. But I feel like this head tilt away is not a good thing.
I also feel like you didn't make a fucking effort. She's all dressed up, and you're in some rag-ass T-shirt.
Yeah, why is he wearing just like this fucking shitty T-shirt? And she's like, hey, look, she's in shape, and he's like, got basketball face.
Yeah, but he's okay. If he's off season, I can't say jack shit about anyone having puffy face. Right?
Okay, maybe he's in off season. You're right. I'll give him that one. But you're right about the clothing. Like she's dressed up like she's like a 10.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
just
they don't look very
tormenting-
happy there. That's a really full smile from them both.
Well, because she. Carly just took it to another level.
Carly, the aim is just to roast them, not end their relationship. Okay? Fuck.
They're gonna fucking see this and be like, "Oh, we need to talk." All right, so this one's not, yeah, but Carly, what do you think when a guy? I wonder this sometimes with my wife, because sometimes when me and my wife go out, not anywhere really nice like this, but sometimes I'll just throw on like camo shorts and a t-shirt, and she'll throw on something a little nicer. But we're never this far apart. Like, this is drastic. Like, well, it is. Like, she's like totally dressed up and he's in the t-shirt.
Carly's used to Luke as well, and Luke was.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm used to that. I actually used to get dressed up and he used to have a go at me. So you're like, oh, I can't get dressed up like that, and now we've got to go out like this.
Yeah, that's how I always felt. Because it's easier because, you know, women are smaller and the guy's fucking, you're all jacked. You can't wear shit. It's harder. But this guy's not jacked, so he has no excuse.
No, he's got no excuse.
Okay, what about the? See, he made an effort here, though.
Yeah.
Except the shoes.
Yeah, he was cold though.
Well, I don't mind. I don't mind. You don't like casual runners like that?
No, I don't like them.
Not with the rest of the outfit. I don't mind. I train in them. I squat in those shoes.
No, I wear casual runners like this.
This is what I was talking about last time. Like, you all business from the ankle up, and then you just got some lazy.
Yeah, but these are like a street. They're like a street shoe.
They don't really go with the outfit though, do they?
Okay.
Well, none of the outfit doesn't go together because wearing jeans and like this pink shirt. I don't know why he's wearing a pink shirt.
All right, so if she's got a pair of Converse on, what would you say?
It's not the same.
Oh, sexism.
Probably trendy, I suppose.
Sexism.
It's not the same.
Let's move on. Okay, this is good. He's making an effort now.
See, so he has no excuse because he does have smart shoes.
Yeah, he looks better there. He's lost weight, I think.
Yeah. What do we got here? Let's see.
We're not roasting his physique. Is this just a relationship roast?
Well, let's find a physique fault. Well, it's his fault. It's all. It's like.
It's only him and his
why
girlfriend.
is you?
Oh no, I saw. He had his.
Wait a minute.
Down. He's
Why?
Got his biceps out.
Yeah, but why is his whole?
It's just a relationship page.
Yeah, like maybe he's trying to show that he's got a girlfriend.
Or he's paying her and he's showing her off.
Maybe he needs to prove to her that he loves her, so she'll stick around.
Is it called? Yeah, but is it a his and her page? You know, like some couples.
Do you reckon it's
no, it's
it's one of those that if he puts up a photo that she's not in it, she gives him a hard time. She's fucking.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not in that one. I'm not in that picture.
Yeah, if she's like that, and because she's a dime piece and he's not, he's got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
She might be a psycho.
Yeah.
Like, so she's a psycho, and he's.
This is a bad part of the show. We shouldn't do this anymore.
I was going to roast his physique. He's asked me to roast.
Wait,
oh, they are.
There you go. Look at these pipe cleaners.
He looks good there. He looks good. That might be before they got together.
No, because she's right. No, because she's right here.
Is that her?
Well, that means then she upped her game because she looks a bit rough there.
Oh shit! I didn't say it.
But they've kind of switched, haven't they?
Oh, they're ravers too. He's got a little bit of gyno going on here.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the orange hair. Jesus.
The what?
Well, that's fancy.
Orange hair.
Oh, the orange hair. What else do we got here? He goes to the gun range. That's good. Is the arm tattoo? What's with the arm tattoo, Ben? You're a tattoo guy.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Does this make you hard?
Not fully.
Just kinda. All right. What else? Do we have anything to roast? Everything else seems pretty good.
The reason he said, "Can you roast me and my girlfriend?" is because there's literally no picture of him on his own. Oh, wait. Here we go.
Where?
Bottom right. No, go down.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's a good transformation. It looks like he doesn't even work out here.
Yeah, it looks so.
But you see what he did though?
He's got his nipples pierced. That's got to go.
I can't zoom in. How do I zoom in?
Is it? Oh,
he's got his nipple pierced, but like maybe he did it to hide his gyno.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to be a bitch.
Change. You decided to have a change of heart.
You said enough about his girlfriend already. You shouldn't fucking hold back anymore. They look happy though. Let's be nice.
Yeah.
They look happy. They look good together. They look even there, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this photo, they look like they're comparable.
Oh, well, because he's matched it because she's wearing a swimsuit and so is he. So it's like
no, but I mean, before we were like, he leveled up, but now if you look at this photo, we're like, they're not really leveled up. They're pretty even.
Yeah,
I can accept that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're not being totally rude. All right. I think we're good. I think we can move on. Oh, that's good. Look at that.
There's a lot of filter on it, but it's good.
yeah.
Do you think it's filtered heavily?
Do I think it's filtered heavy?
You know why you can tell it's filtered heavy? Can I tell you why? Can I tell you the secret? So you see how detailed that is, right? You're like, oh, he's shredded, right? But look at how detailed the ear hair is.
Yeah, because he's got he's that structure.
See the hair? Yeah. See the hair on his ear?
That's amazing.
You see how clear it is? That's because the structure is cranked way up.
Yeah, you see, a lot of guys will post pictures, but they don't know that we all know. Like, I have guys that send me check-in pictures, my clients, and I'm like, stop fucking filtering your pictures.
Your client? Why would your client filter the photo? It's gonna. I
don't know, because guys are insecure.
All right, I think we're done here, right, guys? This is pretty good. Okay, well, this is a hardcore shot.
Oh yeah.
Now, does that make you hard,
Carly? What's that do for you?
I don't know. Nice waterfall.
Okay. Julian, thank you for playing along, dude. We hope we didn't offend you.
We hope your relationship stays intact.
We hope your girlfriend still loves you after this. But yeah, thanks for playing along, dude. Try not to make it too bad for you. Okay, we're back. I don't know why we do that. We shouldn't do that anymore. I feel bad every time we do.
I guarantee it's going to get more requests for it now.
Why does somebody want to get roasted? I don't understand. That's the last thing on earth I would want. I guess that happens to us every day anyway, but
it's that whole thing of like any news is good news, right? Good or bad. They're getting on the show. They want some attention. Attention.
It will probably, you know what? You'll probably go back to his Instagram after this, and it'll probably be on 100K.
No, you know what? We should check.
No, I think we lost the other guy.
What was the guy's last week? What was his name? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
Oh, dude, we should check and see what his.
He's on 1,075. I know that much.
I know that. I don't remember what it was though. To go check.
I don't know.
Okay. You need to monitor this.
I didn't think it was that important. All right. So, Stelly, I don't know if you guys know Stelly. Stelly's been on our show before. He's a fan. Said, would you rather live until you're 100 or restart life now knowing everything you know but only live to 40?
Well, that fucks you over.
Yeah. No, it's not. He's not saying. He's saying I can start over right now.
Oh, okay.
At 0, but have all the knowledge that I have now.
No, I would have said.
Or keep going and live to 100.
Yeah, I would have said start over until I've now got a family with a baby on the way and all that jazz.
What about you, Carly?
I would say it depends how the world's going to be. If you start over, would the world be how it was, or would it be how it is now?
Now. You're starting over from now.
Yeah, but that would be weird, wouldn't it? Because you never would have had like a proper phone or like the black and white TV.
But you have all the knowledge of all the stuff that you already currently using now. But you're born again today, but you only get to live till you're 40.
So you would have like an iPhone when you're like 2 years old.
Yeah, and you already know how to use it because you already fucking know that shit.
Yeah, I think I'd start over.
Think about it, because you'd be like in grade 3, but you'd be like, I'd have a podcast already.
Yeah, you'd be like grade 3, but if it was Carly, you'd be like grade 4 level. See, you got that, Fouad.
She's laughing.
This is what I need Luke to explain.
Yeah.
See, you didn't fucking get it.
I would live to 100 if I could. Not as long as I wasn't sick. Because I'm thinking about my life now. So I'm already 41.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, if you asked me this question when I was 25, I would say I'm good at 40. But now I'm like, there's so much more shit I want to do.
Right, but also, put it this way, you've only got another 59 years versus 40 years of living. It's not that big of a difference for you.
Yeah, but I've already lived 41 years, so I already have an awesome life. I have 59 more awesome years to go. Why would I start over?
Because you could start again with
without
40
all
years,
the mistakes.
without your body not responding because you're getting old and
Yeah.
I could do everything right from the beginning.
Without
you
the
not take-
Viagra, everything.
not take Anadrol your
Yeah,
first
spring
cycle,
chicken.
all that kind of stuff.
I like my mistakes. They make me who I am. Thank you very much.
That's
No,
important.
So you would, so we're all saying, are we all saying we live to 100, or Carly, you're saying you would do the 40?
I don't know. Now I feel like I have to follow the crowd.
No, don't follow the crowd.
I know.
The 40 one is attractive. It is, because you literally know everything from the day you're born, and you'd be so knowledgeable. But I feel like you'd have a pretty awesome life because you could fucking do anything.
Yeah, maybe. Nah. I just want to keep living now. I think I'm okay. I think I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with it.
This is reflective of how your life is currently. Because if you were in a pile of shit right now, you'd say the other one, right? Right?
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. All right. Who do you feel is the best Canadian bodybuilder at the moment, and why? I'll field this one. I think it's Ian Valliere.
Agreed.
Okay. Carly, do you know who the Canadian bodybuilders are? Probably not. Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Chris Bumster's got to be a better bodybuilder.
Well, he's a classic guy. I don't consider that.
It's classic bodybuilding.
Yeah, but not bodybuilding.
He's current Mr. Olympia, and he turned pro in the Open.
If somebody says to me who's the best Canadian bodybuilder, I consider them. They're talking about Open. If they're saying who's the best Canadian in the fitness world, I would say Chris Bumstead.
Yeah.
What about Antoine?
Antoine hasn't done anything yet.
Do you think he'll? What about when he gets on stage next?
Listen, there's a lot of guys with tons of potential. I could sit here and say Regan Grimes is going to be the next Mr. Olympia. I mean, Regan Grimes, or even Quinton Aria. I mean, these guys
he's
have
massive.
Yeah, he's only 22 or 23 years old. These guys,
really?
These guys have.
He does look wicked.
Yeah, and I don't say this easily. Like, these guys literally have Mr. Olympia potential, if not the Mr. Olympia. They're talking top 6, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people with potential, but if you ask me who's the best right now at this moment,
yeah,
I think Ian beats them.
Why is that though? Can I ask? Canada seems to produce a lot of good athletes, and bodybuilders particularly, because the population is nowhere near as big as America, right?
I think it's because of me and Frank.
You taking credit?
I fucking swear to God, I'm taking credit 100%. It's because of me and Frank.
But no, seriously, there's good stock in Canada.
I'll tell you why. So, and I'll tell you why I said that. When I started and Frank started, no Canadians had contracts. No Canadians were making money. There was a couple Canadian pros, like Claude Gruel, Bruce Patterson, but nobody had any like real money. Nobody's making a living at it. And then Frank got a Weider contract, and everybody's like, "Oh fuck, Frank got a Weider contract, right?" But Frank was a freak, so it still didn't like make people think that they could do it, because Frank was like a phenom. So it was like still unachievable. But then when I started making money, they're like, well, fuck, if Fouad can do it. And then Ben started making money, so then Ben could do it. They're like, Ben Pekulski, for those of you.
Yeah, I even forgot about Ben.
Yeah, so once like I started making money, then Ben started making money, then other guys started thinking, oh, fuck, we can get contracts too. It's not just the American guys. So then all of a sudden, like a new crop of guys came out that were actually trying to achieve what me and Ben had achieved, and Frank before both of us.
Okay, but on the other side, I'm talking more like the genetic pool, because I don't care. It's like there's a work ethic in Canada. Like Canada seems to be a little like the Midwest in, like, you know, Ohio and Illinois. Those kind of, it's like gritty.
Well, if you think about it, they're all from, most of them, I shouldn't say all of them. I can't think of anybody right now off the top of my head, but most of them are from Ontario. And it's because they all hang out. And I think when you get a group of guys that hang out, you know, like Ian hangs out with Chris, Bumstead. So those two guys, obviously they're pushing each other, right? And even if you're not pushing each other, if you're friends with somebody who's doing great, subconsciously they're pushing you. Yeah. So, and then if you think of like Regan and Quinton and Dorian and Antoine and all these guys hang out together, they're going to all push each other. Like back in the day, I used to hang out with Frank, Dorian, and Cody, and that was one of my best years in bodybuilding, because you're around people that are eating and breathing and sleeping the same shit you are, and you just drive each other to be better. Yeah. So I think those guys, the reason the quality is good is it's a couple groups of people that are just kind of pushing each other to be as good as they can be. So it's kind of like the same thing I think about when I think of the UK scene, right? When you think of the UK, you think of, holy fuck, who are all these guys? Nathan and Luke and fucking James, and like all of a sudden all these bodybuilders are just coming out of the wood, you know, and Samson, and like, you're like, what the fuck are they drinking over there? You know, what kind of juice are they taking? I want to take their juice. So I even said that to Luke. I'm like, what kind of juice are you taking, dude? I want to take your juice. Like, you're doing something I'm not doing. So
I used to say that to him. I used to say that because we used to, obviously, I'd go around to, when Carly and Luke's go, I'd go around there like in the morning and spend all day there. And I'd be like, are you hiding the top drawer stuff from me? Because you're fucking, like, my label is the same as your label, but it's not, it's not doing the same thing. You've got like the top drawer shit, and then you give me the out of date stuff. I swear to God.
That's what I said. I called him. I'm like, come on, man, just hook me up. Just like, I know you're doing something I'm not doing. So no, but I think that's the reason why you get little pockets. Like, if it's the same thing, if you look at the States, if you look at Flex Lewis and what's the guy, the Latin guy's name, the Brazilian guy? Rafael and John De La Rosa, they're training together. All of a sudden they're getting better. They're all getting better together because they're all driving each other, right? So anytime you get, the thing is, it takes a lot of humility, because a lot of bodybuilders have huge egos and they have trouble being around other bodybuilders. They want to do their training and their thing at their time. So it takes like a collective group to all kind of be able to help each other with not so big egos, or else it can't happen. That's why you don't see like a lot of pockets. There's like some here and there, but most bodybuilders are doing their own thing by themselves.
Yeah.
If you could have dinner with anyone, doesn't have to be a bodybuilder, in the world, who would it be and why, Carly? You could have dinner with anybody in the world.
Oh. You know what? I'm not very good at names. That's the thing.
Can you describe
it? And it's this actor. Yeah. He was on Save the Last Dance. Do you remember Save the Last Dance?
No.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
That's it. Yeah.
Right.
Amazing.
That's who you'd pick out of everybody in the world?
Yeah. Yeah, he's amazing. And who's the guy that sung Sugar?
I don't know.
Oh,
so let's say
it was with Maroon 5.
Oh, okay. I know the lead singer of Maroon 5.
Yeah, what's his name? He's a skinny guy.
I don't know, but you just
this is have dinner with, not fuck. You know that, right?
Well, but you know what Carly's gonna do halfway through dinner? She's probably gonna be like,
"Don't know about dinner." God.
I'm talking about people that you're gonna like have dinner with and talk to, and Carly's like, which one can I fuck after dinner?
Yeah, but she's gonna try and work her way in after dinner. That's the whole thing. She's just like, if I get them to dinner, I can close the deal.
No, because I've seen Carly eat. It's not happening.
Carly, do you eat a lot? Are you like a massive binge eater?
No, I did used to. Not anymore, really.
Yeah.
My appetite is gone now.
Yeah, put a pizza in front of her. Not anymore.
Huh?
Put a pizza in front of you. Not anymore, right?
I can't. It's disappointing. I can't hardly eat anything. I remember when me and Luke used to have a large pizza each. We'd have sweets, ice cream, crisps. It was sickening. And I just used to keep up with him.
But isn't it so gross? It's fun though, isn't it?
I've got a sweet story that Luke told me about Carly.
Tell me, what is it? Tell me.
I'll let Carly do this one. Their first date. Please.
The first date?
Which, are you talking about? What with the sweets on the first date? Oh, okay. So I've got plenty of sexy stories like this.
So this is not a sexy story.
I don't know. It depends. It is.
What, the toilet floor one?
Yeah, that's the kind of stories we have. We don't have to like. Yeah. So anyway, we were on our first date. Oh, I have to tell you first of all, right? We were chatting on Messenger, and he walked up, and it was his birthday. So I'd bought him a 6-pack bag, right? So I was like, babes, like here's a present, like really kind of like really cheesy. He was loving it, and I was like, open the top of it. I've got something else in there. So he opened the top of it, and it was a signed picture of me.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
That was the first bit, and then we got really, really drunk, and for some reason we decided to get some. Do you remember them sweets that you have the twirly thing? You put the 20p in.
No.
Oh man.
What is it?
Well, it's like a
Like a
small
fun
arcade where you have like sweets and then you twirl it and you probably get about 10.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So they've got them anyway. So we were really drunk and we put our 20p's in and they all fell on the guy's toilet floor.
Oh
So
no.
I decided to pick them up and eat them.
No, you did not.
Did, man. I did.
How drunk were you though?
Huh? I was so drunk. But then, like, I got it on because after that, he was like, baby, you're all mine. And he carried me upstairs.
And then she took a shit in front of him.
No. Nah, I can't do that. And he was still good with it. He must have known it was. He must have known at that point.
Yeah, he knew it was love.
Well, I mean, you ate candy off the shit floor, and you took a dump in front of him. It can't get any worse. Did you guys drink a lot or no?
Not really.
It wouldn't have mattered if they
How old were you? How old were you when you guys were together?
He was 30. He had just turned. Oh no, when did he did the juniors? So was he 23? Yeah, he had just turned 24. So that was his 24th birthday when we met.
And you were how old? Are you the same age or no?
No, I think I was 28.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought you guys were the same age.
No, I always went for younger guys. And he really did me in because I wanted him when he was 23 and he turned 24. So I got the bad egg, unfortunately.
What?
Carly likes them really young.
Okay, are you guys listening? Carly is single. Is you single? And she likes them really young. Right?
Not too young.
Not too young.
At least 20.
She doesn't want to get in trouble. All right. Ben, you didn't tell me who you would go to dinner with.
Joe Rogan.
Really? That's a good one. I didn't think of that. I go with The Rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell us why.
Huh?
Tell us why. Why would you both go for those?
Why would you go with Rogan, Ben?
I just think you'd have a random conversation. Like it could go anywhere, and it would be somewhat backed up with a good logic. You know.
I feel like it'd be too much pressure to have like a great conversation.
No, you get a little high, you get a little drunk.
I feel like if you sat with Rogan, he would expect you to have a great conversation with him because that's what he does all day long.
I get that before I come on here anyway, though. I'm like, oh shit, time to have a good conversation.
I'd go with The Rock, man, because I think it'd be like laid back and fun. You just get drunk and just hang out. It wouldn't be like
drink tequila and eat pancakes.
Yeah, exactly, and then go work out. I mean, fuck, it'd be great. So anyway. If you had to eat one protein source for the rest of your life, if every single meal for the rest of your life while bodybuilding, would it be chicken breast, ground beef, steak, bison, turkey, ground turkey, egg whites, or protein powder? What would your one protein source be for the rest of your life?
Steak.
Really?
I'd probably go with ground beef.
Yeah, chicken.
Chicken?
I can't do chicken.
I can't even do chicken now.
Yeah.
Let alone if it was the only thing I could eat. It's so gross. I can't do more. I've been eating fish lately because I can't even eat chicken anymore.
I do love a bit of sea bass. Yeah, with the skin, so it's nicely fried.
Yeah, sea bass is good, but it's expensive too, though.
Yeah, that's expensive. You eat that for bodybuilding, you got to be on a packet.
No, man, exactly. I eat sole. Do you guys have sole in the UK? Or is it called flounder there? I think it's called flounder.
No, it's called sole. It's flounder in this.
In the US, it's flounder. Yeah, that's what I eat. It's cheaper.
That sounds like that. What's the film?
Nemo, or what's
That's it? Finding Nemo, isn't it? Flounder.
Finding Nemo. Yeah, isn't that one of the, I don't know. Luke would know. I don't know. Yeah, I'd go with ground beef because ground beef you can mix with anything.
Yeah.
Ground beef's easy to eat.
Yeah.
Salmon's easy to eat. Salmon and rice is real easy to eat.
Oh, not with every meal though.
Yeah,
that's a lot of salmon.
And you would stink.
Yeah, it would ooze out of you.
Yeah, you'd smell like fish all day. Gross. Would you rather spend? Oh, this is I don't know if I should read this one.
Read it.
It's bad.
Read it.
Would you rather spend 1 week in prison getting raped by every single prisoner on your block, or spend the rest of your life in jail but rape free?
Wait, 10 years.
So you spend 1 week.
Yeah.
You spend 1 week.
Oh fuck you! Yeah,
1 week in prison, but everybody gets to rape you.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, it'd have to be, wouldn't it?
I'm sorry, but I can endure short-term pain. If I don't want to be stuck in a cell for the rest of my life, go to fuck. No way. Like, lube me up, spit on it, and go.
Oh, okay. Carly?
I'm going to have to go to Ben with that one. Lube me up, spit me up, and go.
I want to know. I know what Ben was going to say.
That's not a hard one for her.
Shut up. I don't want to be in prison for 10 years. Jesus.
Yeah, I'd probably go with the same one, too. I don't want to be in jail for the rest of my life.
No.
Any young pros you see as future Mr. Olympias in the next 5 to 10 years? Well, I just already said Quentin and Regan are potential. Do you guys know anybody who's a young pro coming up that you might think is a potential Mr. Olympia?
Young? No.
I've never seen anybody like Quentin.
I've not seen him in real life. That's hard. I've seen Regan in real life.
He's very accurate in real. Like, it's very accurate. What you see in pictures is what he looks like in real life.
Yeah. I'm very careful not to judge people just off their social media pictures, right? Because it's.
I agree. But I've been up there and trained with those guys, and he's posed in front of me. And
how tall is he?
I don't want to say for sure, but he's definitely taller than me. He's like got to be. No, I'm like 5'9", 5'10", so he's got to be 5'11", 6 foot at least.
Wait, so does that mean you're actually like 5'7"?
No, I'm only lying by an inch. I'm 5'9".
Okay.
No, but his pictures are actually very accurate to what he looks like in real life, and I've just never seen anybody like that at 22 or 23 or whatever how old he is. It's crazy. Yeah. Even if I'm wrong and he's 25, it's still insane. Like, he needs a little bit of a back. Like, I've told him, like, he's got to bring his back up. Not that I've told him, like, Dorian's his coach. Dorian's told him, like, they're working on his back and stuff, but it's just insane the level he's at that age. I didn't need.
Do you want to pull him up for people that don't know? It's Quentin.
Yeah. I should.
Is it Quentin the Beast? Something like
that? Quentin Beastwood, or something like that. Yeah, Quentin Aria is his name. So for those of you who haven't seen him, go give him a follow. He doesn't have a lot of followers. Not a lot of people know him because he's only done a couple shows. But this is
1,000 more than me.
This is recent. This is crazy. Like,
wow.
And these proportions are legit. Like, his quads are bigger than mine. His arms are like 22 inches. He's got this tiny little waist.
Waist tiny.
It's really, really nuts. Like, he's got, like, this is crazy to see on somebody his age.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, even if he's 25, that's a fucking.
Yeah, he looks good. He does look good.
I like Patrick Moore's friends with my wife. They used to work together, but he's like 34, 35, right?
Patrick Moore's 30, 35 at least. Yeah, I know he's in his late.
Like, I know he can improve a bit, but the potential, I think, the scope of, it's difficult. This guy is.
Well, this is him at 300 pounds, and you can see his conditioning is good at 300 pounds. But you also see where the weakness is, because on a guy this big, like, he's 6 feet, and he's like got a wide stature, like, he's a big guy.
Yeah,
this needs to be twice this size.
Yeah,
to match all of this.
Yeah,
but that's the only knock, and because he's so young, there's a lot of time to improve this.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be very, very like, this is what he looked like last year before he put on all the muscle that he put on this year.
Where did he place? Do you know?
I forget. I think he took 4th or 5th in Toronto, or maybe 6th. I don't remember his exact placing, but I think he just got outsized. Like, this is still pretty new muscle.
Yeah.
And even though he looks amazing 2D, this is the maturity part is turning him sideways, right? He just doesn't have that really bubbly look yet, but this was also, don't forget, this was last year. So he's put on a lot of size since then. So I was really excited to see what he was going to step up. Like, here, I'll show you an example. This is last year. You see, like, it still looks, it's amazing for his age, but if we're just speaking openly about bodybuilding period, you can still see, like, he has a lot of development to go still, right?
Yeah.
But look at this 1 year later.
Yeah.
So wow. That's only 1 year. That's only 1 year later. Like, it's.
Yeah, that's a really good image.
It's very phenomenal. It's very phenomenal. Like, he's able to put on that much size on his delts, his arms. His chest looks thicker. His legs look thicker. His waist stayed the same size.
Yeah.
And it's all in 1 year. Like, that's, guys usually don't make this kind of jump. Usually takes them 3 or 4 years to make that kind of jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again,
that front double's really nice.
the front double's crazy. Yeah. It's because his waist is so small. He's got like, these lats do flare at the top. He just
These
needs more
biceps
thickness.
are split there.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
At that age, which is crazy, right? Because you can imagine like in 5 or 10 years what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. When he's 35, if he carries on, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm sorry to those people who are listening. If you're listening and not watching, go to Instagram and go to Quint Beastwood. His Instagram is nuts. You see a pretty crazy physique. Excuse me. Okay, let's move on. Quint, we gave you a good plug. I hope you live up to the hype. Live Fit 08. This is a female question. Well, it's not really a female question, but it's a female asking. When do you eat your cheat meals? And this is what I want to ask. I want your opinion on, Ben, because I'm always confused about this too. When do you eat your cheat meals? On rest days, leg days, days when you train a lagging body part, or the day before? So people always ask me, do I cheat the day before my big body part, the day of my big body part, or the day after my big body part? What's the best way to do it?
Yeah. I've tried all different ways with myself and with my clients. When I'm deep into an off season with a client or myself, I like doing it on a rest day.
Okay.
So provided that obviously the calories on a training day are high enough anyway, right? I don't want to screw around with that. And I think aid in recovery on your rest day. That rest days for me are when you're growing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So I think the boost in that, I think when you're shifting down shifting up gears through into a diet on a lower caloric phase, then you start to move them away from a rest day and towards a weaker body part. Okay,
wait a minute though. So I just want to get a little more specific. So you want to cheat on your rest day, but where is your lagging? Is the body part you want to fix the most before or after your rest day?
So I would have it. So for instance, if you got weak arms, so you train arms on a Saturday, Friday you'd have off, and I put a cheat meal in the evening before.
So you want to have your cheat meal two ways. You want to have it one on your rest day and two before a lagging body part.
Right. Well, that's conditional to being deep in an off season. Right? Yeah. Then when I'm then discussing if you're going to be in sort of the early stages of a prep, I'll remove it from the rest day and I'll start putting it towards either a large body part or a weak body part. If they have two, then I'll do both. It depends on the client. It depends on the individual. I think I also would put it at meal 5, not 6. Okay. A lot of guys do it as the last meal. Yeah. I have a rule that I want the cheat meal to be a surplus in calories, but I do not want it to impact on the following meal.
Well, that's why I always do my cheat meals like for my last meal or my second last meal for two reasons. One, if I do it in the morning and I start fucking up my shit in the morning, my whole day's a write-off. You just turn the tap on and I'm just going to stuff my face all day long. Yeah. So I don't do that. And also because I sleep better at night. If I have like a big meal, I'll pass right out and I'll be out for like a good 6 or 8 hours. But
the risk of that is some guys will overkill the last meal and then they sleep like shit because they're like, I've done it.
If you binge.
Yeah. If I've eaten like 3 pizzas and then I can't lay down and then I'm up all night burping and going to the bathroom. So I put it at meal 5. So then they have 3 more hours to digest. Then they have to finish with a shake and whatever before they go to bed.
But you know what happens to me is if you put it meal 5, that's like 9 o'clock for me. Yeah. I'll just eat until like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning and then I'll go to sleep.
Wait. Yeah, okay, but you're giving yourself a time frame. I would give you a meal.
Yeah, but I would just say, fuck it. I already ate. So I'm just going to keep eating. and then I would just fall until I fall asleep.
Or it's a quote guy. It's a quote guy. It's because you're a fucking slob.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, you know what? I've done all of them also. I used to actually be a big proponent of doing the cheat meal the day before my lagging body part, which is always like I always wanted to do it before legs or back. Because I always felt like I got the energy in the glycogen stores and everything full in the sodium kick and everything for the next day. And then I realized I think I had a couple tears actually from doing that. And I think it's because I threw my electrolytes out of balance from eating all that sodium and all that shit. And the next day, like everything wasn't firing properly. Yeah. So I've switched it to the night of the lagging. So if I'm trying to like emphasize my leg growth, I'll have my cheat meal on my leg day, like after training.
Yeah.
So, Carly, what do you do? Anything special or just?
Yeah, no, that's what I used to do. I used to have it on like the bigger body parts. So it'd either be back day or leg day.
Mhm.
Always. I did when I used to, first of all, when I used to compete, I used to do what you did and have it on the day before, because I just thought that it would give me the energy for the next day. But to be honest with you, it just made me feel really rough. So it actually hindered my workout instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find it more beneficial to have it on the actual day of your like a bigger.
I'll tell you what I did. Something interesting and really random. I trained. You know who Lawrence Charlet is? He's a UK strongman. It's like what he was like Britain's strongest man, European strongman. He's been to the world strongest man a bunch of times.
Okay.
I went and kind of did a day in the life when we had Brutal Muscle. I did a day in the life with him.
Yeah.
And we ate like 4. I matched him meal for meal. I did everything he did. We were training push. We went and trained chest and shoulders. But right before, we went to an Indian all-you-can-eat buffet.
Oh, no.
I tell you what, I've never been so strong in my life. I mean, it was tough on my digestive system.
Yeah.
We went plate for plate on that thing. He was pretty, comfortable. He does that every time. But this was like, we went about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We trained at 3, and we were eating for an hour straight on this buffet.
I thought you were going to tell me you shit your pants.
That's why you wear black. That's why you wear black underwear.
Just in case. All right. So next question is, would you rather, oh, fuck. This is so weird. I got to read it. It's going to be weird for you, Carly. I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but you can try and imagine. Question is, would you rather never come again, or every time you come, one big sperm comes out and then you have to fight it? Don't ask me where they come up with the shit. I just
it's so tough because you're so like floppy afterwards, right? You so want to just roll over and have a nap. You're not in the mood to have a fight.
I did not even consider that part of like just being dead afterwards.
You get your ass kicked by a giant
you'd be fucking smoked. Yeah. I couldn't fight after. That's right.
Then has no arms. It's just a tail.
Yeah, but imagine not coming ever again.
Yeah, I'm saying I might just
take a beating.
Me and the missus, we can both take it on.
So basically, you have to take a beating every time you come.
Unless the wife helps me out and we can both take it down together. I'll hold its head and she can grab the tail and we'll just fucking wrestle it.
Carly, do you have any input to this?
But then what are you going to do with the sperm? Do you then put it back up so you can start again? Like, what happens?
God, Carly.
Let's go up there out in the garden.
All right, let's try and get to actually something bodybuilding related. This is good for you, Ben. Let's see what you have to say about this. I've always had a really strong teardrop and have a very weak sweep. What can I do to focus more on my quad sweep?
Well, we discussed this last time, didn't we? The very first time I was on, we spoke about foot positioning with quads.
Doesn't it depend on your insertions too, though? Like, you might not have, like, if you've got high insertions, like, you're not going to have that kind of quad sweep, are you?
Or low insertions, you mean? Like from the hip. Because, like, if you look at somebody like Sean Roden, his quad, like, inserts all the way up at the hip, and he's had this billowing sweep. But, like, if you look at someone like a Bob Ciccarello, his sweep stops, like, halfway up his leg.
Yeah.
So I think insertion does play Go ahead.
I think this is where range comes into play. I think the deeper you take a leg press movement, be it a squat, leg press, whatever, I think you're going to engage more VMO and more glute, right?
So I've been doing it. So I've been doing this wrong the whole time.
I'm not saying that. I'm just talking this out with you. I might be wrong, and just hear me out.
I'm not saying you are wrong. I'm saying I was wrong.
I'm saying biomechanically, if you look at if you look at the ECG of muscle activation, it's much greater. It's much greater the VMO when the knee's almost complete flexion, right?
Yeah.
Versus when it's
straight. Yeah.
And the same goes for the glute when the hip is in complete flexion. So theory would suggest, and I don't know this is why I'm just talking out loud. I don't know, but that mid-range is where the quad
sweep works.
Not the quadricep, but you're like, what is it? The semi, you know what I mean? The outer
The lateralis.
Lateralis, sorry,
Yeah.
That's where you get more lateralis engagement, I believe. So things like, I don't like box squatting per se, but you know what I mean? That kind of...
I see what you're saying.
Or pinned leg presses. I think, actually, Luke and I did this with Joe Bennett, the hypertrophy coach.
What's a pinned leg press?
So on the Arsenal Strength one, they have the leg press, and you can pin... Like, you can move the stopper. You know the stopper that stops it?
So it only comes back like so far.
Right. I think if you can get that, because a lot of people are trying to get all the way down, right? Yeah, you want a full range and everything. Like, for a beginner, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, if you're now thinking, you know, the scalpel's out, as you put it, or Luke puts it,
yeah,
if you're now taking finer details, I think if you go and put that stopper on slightly higher than you normally would and play around with that, because I think, and also I'd put a band on it as well, because
you get less. Yeah, you'll get less at the very bottom.
Yeah. So I think that way you'd be recruiting more of the lateralis, as opposed to when you're going full depth and the glute's going to fire hard and the VMO's going to fire hard, especially if it's already dominant, right?
Yeah.
That's what you got to remember. When someone has that dominance, you've got to almost baby that out of it, right? Because they're going to kick in.
I have that problem. My VMO is dominant over my lateralis, but I have to try and figure out how to like always manage that. But
and I think like leg extensions.
Yeah.
The last like 20 degrees of a leg extension is going to be mostly VMO.
Yeah.
So I would load that thing a little heavier and
go
do
half
partial range at the bottom. Yeah.
Okay. It's funny you said Joe Bennett. I think I have him on soon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what a V-bar handle is, or a close grip handle?
Yeah, I saw this argument. Yeah.
Can you tell me, as somebody who studied biomechanics and all that, do you agree that there are some things in theory that don't work in practice?
Bodybuilding is 90% of theory that doesn't work in practice.
So that's kind of what I've come to the conclusion with his theory about the close grip, because when he talks about it is in terms of science, I'm like, yeah, you're right. You know, your arms are going to flare out and it doesn't make sense to do this. It makes more sense to do this, where you can get like a deeper range of motion.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that when I do T-bar rows, I get the best back pump out of any other back exercise.
Here's where I think both of you have points, because I watched the debate on it, and I saw you comment on it, and it's conditional to the individual. And I know that's a cop-out answer, but if a lot of Joe Bennett's following are not pro bodybuilders.
Yeah.
I have a terrible back, right? It's hard for me to feel my lat engage.
Yeah.
When my hands are wider apart, I can certainly get a better retraction through my scapula.
Yeah.
So I think if you don't have that problem, don't worry about it.
But here's the thing. I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that he's 100% right, that with your hands here, you can actually get better range of motion. What I am disputing is that with my hands close, it still feels fucking amazing.
Right. And that's
because he's not only talking about close grip T-bars, he's talking about close grip cable rows, like close grip any row.
Right. But this is where, so something I do when I coach, when I send people their training programs is I'll write their training plan out. So it might be like lat pull down, but I'll put in brackets, your preferred grip. And then I put a note on there and they say, I want you to play around with your hand position. I want to play around with the implement you use. All I want you to do is follow the same movement pattern.
Learn to feel the muscle working.
Right. If I give you a T-bar row and you don't feel it, it's no fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to say, but if you tell me that you can do, like, you know, the handle that's
the wide grip handle.
Yeah. If you fit it on that, do not waste your time on the close grip handle. Go and switch to that one.
But there is one caveat to that.
Yeah.
If you're a beginner and you don't feel it, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means that maybe you haven't learned how to feel it yet.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like just because you do a squat the very first time, and you're like, oh, I don't feel anything. I just feel it in my lower back. Well, it could be because you're squatting like shit. You might need to learn how to do the movement.
That's when I said a lot of Joe's followers are of that ilk. You know, they're in that.
Yeah. If I'm trying to teach a beginner the mechanics of training, then Joe is 100% right.
Right.
But if I'm in the gym and I'm trying to teach somebody, you know, hand to hand, like in person, we're working together, I'm putting them on the T-bar with the close grip.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna teach them how to use it, because
Right.
there's very, very few bodybuilders at, you know, in the top level or even close to the top level I can think of that don't do close grip T-bar rows.
Right, but then you're saying when you're in the gym with them, and I agree. And I think if Joe was in the gym with them, agreed. If
But
you
that's
have
not. But that's not what he wrote. That's not what he wrote.
right.
What
Okay.
he wrote was, I don't know why anybody would ever use this handle.
Mm.
That's a little. It's a little like broad
Sweeping
stroke.
statement, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little broad
Yeah.
stroke, right? So maybe when I have him on the podcast, we can clarify all that. But I just thought
Right.
it was a little. Like I'm like, am I crazy? Because when I saw it, I'm like, am I nuts? Because that's my favorite handle.
Yeah, but you use a fork, so fuck it.
Do you think Ronnie Coleman still would have been the Olympian and overall phenom he is if he never stepped foot in Metroflex with Brian? What about Branch? Do you think every circumstance and decision led Ronnie to this career, or would he still get there even if he worked out at Gold's Venice or Good Life? Carly, what do you think? Do you think Ronnie Coleman still would have been Ronnie Coleman if he had to train at like a different gym?
Yeah, because he's Ronnie Coleman, isn't he?
It's up here, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's got the mindset and he's got the genetics, isn't he? So he's just an animal.
Yeah. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I think the same. Branch was an animal before he went to Metroflex, right?
Yeah.
If you hear his stories.
But it kind of goes back to what we were saying about, and I'm just going to play devil's advocate, because I agree with both of you that if it's up here, then it doesn't really matter where you are. But at the same time, it goes back to what we were saying about when you said, how come there's so many good Canadians? And I said, it's because they're all in that environment together.
Right, nature versus nurture kind of thing, right?
That's right. So I wonder, I wonder if Ronnie Coleman was this great, if being in the same gym with Branch and Brian in that environment made him like that.
Kind of elevated it, maybe.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Or maybe he would have been better if he'd have trained somewhere else and not got as injured as much. And
yeah, there's a flip side to it too. Yeah, yeah.
Like, how do you know? You don't know.
I don't think he could have been any better.
He might have been less injured. He might not have chased those big weights without that intensity, you know? Because I've been in there and you can't help but go, I've got to load this bar up until it's about to snap in half.
Some people might hate the fact that I'm going to say this, but I don't think Ronnie Coleman would have been Ronnie Coleman if he didn't lift those heavy weights.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with you.
Like that body is built by fucking heavy training. That's not shit. You don't build that physique with a fucking machine. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question. Would Ronnie Coleman be Ronnie Coleman without that place?
I think
because if you're gonna if you put him say in a fitness first or a real commercial gym, would he still have that kind of that fire? Because I know if I'm going into a David Lloyd, I don't have the same kind of I really want to train.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm kind of changing my opinion as we speak. I feel like your environment does matter. Maybe Dorian Yates wouldn't have been Dorian Yates without the Dungeon and Leroy. You know what I mean? Like maybe you need that. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question.
Yeah.
This is a long question, but I want to answer it. I'm going to try and summarize it. Or maybe I'll just read it and you guys can see what you get from it. So there have been multiple studies done that suggest that several men in the bodybuilding industry community struggle with muscle belittlement, meaning believing that one is less muscular than they truly are, or bigorexia. I think a lot of us know it as bigorexia. Do you guys feel like you have gone through this, or have you found a way to overcome it? If you have not experienced this, have you noticed other bodybuilders who have or might be experiencing bigorexia? What do you think?
Yes, I've experienced it. No, it hasn't gone away. You don't deal with it. I constantly do the same thing, you know. And it was worse. I think it was worse for me because training with Luke.
Okay, wait. I just want to let's put it in a little box. So you can't say it's bigorexia if it's based on competition, right? Like if I say to you, Ben, I'm shrinking. If I said that in front of a normal person, they would be like, that guy's got bigorexia because he weighs 280 pounds and he thinks he's shrinking. So he must be fucked up in the head, right? But you know what I mean. I'm talking about relative to the 300 pounds I used to weigh.
Yeah.
right? So it's not bigorexia. It's based on competition. I used to be 300 pounds. I feel small now, not because I feel small amongst the general population. I feel small based on relative to what I was 2 or 3 years ago. So that's not, I don't consider that bigorexia. If you're walking around and you weigh 300 pounds and you're like, oh, I got to wear a hoodie because I'm small and I don't want people to see me because I'm small. That's that's bigorexia.
But then, like, you're comparing yourself to your past. I think bigorexia is when you're not comparing yourself to what you used to be. It's like you think that what you are now is.
Yeah, that's my point. I mean? Yeah, that's my point. So I think bigorexia is like, no matter what, it's not a competition-based thing. You just think you're small.
Yeah.
I think inherent, and it's just to different degrees. I think we all have that.
Yeah.
Some people are really extreme.
I don't think I have it.
You don't?
I could be in denial.
but why I think we're all driven by that to start working out in the first place, though.
No, see, that's the thing. I never wanted to be huge. I only got huge because I wanted to compete.
Okay.
Because you're Canadian.
No,
that's why you got huge.
I'm being honest. Like I've told the story a million times. Yeah. I thought bodybuilding was fucking stupid. I didn't even think it was cool. But I started lifting weights, and then I went to a show and I wanted to do it, so I did it, and then I wanted to. I wanted to keep doing it.
You're right. It is stupid. Luke, I did both barrels with Luke, and I told him to explain what he does for a living to an alien without feeling like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm trying to say is I understand that people want to be huge. Like, I get that. Some people are like, I've talked to guys, they're like, man, if I was your size, I'd go to the grocery store in a tank top and I want to be huge. And I don't want to be huge. I don't go to the grocery store in a tank top. I don't like try and show it off. I literally got huge so I could compete. So I don't feel like I have bigorexia. Once I'm done competing, I'll probably be like Dorian Yates. I'll probably just shrink down to.
I don't think that's the norm, though, right? You know that's not normal in our industry.
I know, but I think she's just asking us, and then she says, "Do we know anybody else who is?" So I'm just speaking for myself.
Do you think, though? Do you think it's not actual? Do you think it's more people that say just train to look good? Do you think they more have bigorexia than we do because we're obviously training to improve to compete? So it's a different thing. So we're analysing our physique in a different way.
Yeah, that's kind of what my point was. My point I was trying to make is, I think if you're getting big to compete, then when you say stuff like I'm small, it's relative to your stage look, or like it's relative to the sport you're trying to be involved in, right? I think if you're just like one of these guys that wants to get huge and look good at the bar, and you're like, oh, I feel small, like, then it's different. I feel like there's like there's something wrong there. You need to get a hold of.
That's when they've got the oh my god, that's where they've got the coat hanger as well, isn't it? You know, where they walk around like this.
Yeah, like if you have something to prove, and you probably have that problem, right? Like, I don't know. Why don't you carry on with your point, Ben? Because you said you have it. Do you still think you have it after we've kind of discussed it more, or
not to the point that it's an issue? I just think. I don't know whether I'm misunderstanding the question or not, but like Luke, because this is my point where I was always with Luke.
Yeah.
Right? And when you're training with Luke, everyone feels fucking. James felt tiny.
I didn't feel tiny when I trained with Luke.
You didn't?
Well, I didn't feel tiny at all, actually. This was before he got even better, though, but
right.
What I did feel was he was strong as fuck. I was like, that guy's fucking strong as fuck.
Well, see, I could hang with him on the strength stuff. It was the size stuff. I was just like, what the like?
No, size-wise, I was fine. It was the strength. I was like blown away at how the fuck.
But I'd walk around at conventions like Body Power or whatever, and like Luke used to laugh about the biggest thing anyone used to say to me when they met me was like, holy shit, you're way bigger in person. Because if I'm on camera next to Luke, you're just fucking swallowed up. So for a guy that started off skinny and scrawny, that wanted to be big, you're then training partners, one of the best bodybuilders in the country, if not the world.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
But you just said something. You said something that I think is the key point to it. You said, if you start off skinny and you wanted to be big. So for you, you wanted to be big. It wasn't based on competition. You just wanted to be bigger.
Yeah. But I think, and again, this is where I think the separation comes from you and some people that want to just bodybuild to compete. I think a lot of guys got into bodybuilding just to be bigger. And that's what I'm saying. I think the majority of us, and obviously I can't speak for the whole, but I think a large proportion of the bodybuilding community comes from the same place that I did. You know?
My life, I don't want this to sound bad. I owe my whole life to bodybuilding. I love everything about it, but my life got harder the bigger I got. And I don't mean like tying my shoes and putting on clothes. I mean like my social anxiety, like just doing everyday things, like going to dinner with my wife and things, like everything got harder the bigger I got. Just buying cars. Like I want to buy my Corvette. I'm like, I barely fucking fit in this thing, but I stuffed myself in and did it anyway. But like, maybe Carly. Sorry, go ahead, man.
I was going to say, like, I did the same thing about 6-7 years ago. I mean, I wasn't as big as I am now, but I met a bunch of my old school friends, and none of them trained. They're all in finance, work in the city, and we were in one of their gardens playing cricket, and they all took their tops off, and I wouldn't, because I'm like, I felt embarrassed because I was a lot bigger and I'm better shape than them. So I kept my clothes. I was sweating my ass off. But I was like, I'm not doing it because I don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to pretend you're showing up. You don't want to seem like you're showing off.
Yeah.
Carly, you've downsized a lot. Has your life, I don't want to say has your life gotten better. That's the wrong way to put it. But has your life gotten easier since being like jacked?
I'm the most comfortable the way I look now than I ever have been. When I train, I love training. And I loved competing. I loved all like changing your body, but through competing, I wasn't happy with the way I looked.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I always said as soon as I stopped competing, I'd downsize. I always said that, because for a female point of view, it's not something that I personally liked as a female, but I did it for a reason. I did it for like my goal and like the purpose at the time. So yeah, 100%.
I think that's what I meant by it affected my life, because I always felt better smaller.
Yeah.
And the bigger I got, the harder I didn't look at myself the same.
The only time I like being 290 is 5 hours a week when I'm in the gym.
Yeah, that's my point. That's what I'm trying to say.
Outside, if I could just flick a switch on and off, I'd be 240 outside of the gym. I'd be 290 in the gym.
So you are like me then, because that's how I feel. I'd be like,
yeah, but 240 is still pretty big though, right?
Well, maybe that's the bigorexia in me. I don't think 240 is big. like when I'm done bodybuilding, I'll be 240. I'll be like, okay, I'm 240. That's comfortable, right? Like I don't feel. Yeah, it's I don't mean. I'm not trying to say it like in a mean way, but I don't know. I guess maybe you can't self-diagnose this kind of thing, but if we could, I don't feel like bigorexia exists when you're talking about it in a competition setting. I feel like it's reserved for people who are doing it for a different reason, I think. Anyway.
And it's to the smaller guys.
Well, yeah, maybe. If you could have as many cheat meals as you wanted without getting fat, but had to wear men's physique board shorts all the time in public places, including the gym, would you do it?
Yes.
Yeah, right? It's pretty obvious.
Good burgers and ice cream taste. Fucking yeah, give me those shorts.
We'll do a couple more. We've been on for a while now. Okay. What are the best ways to get your social media following to grow, starting from nothing? How do you stand to get noticed? Carly, what do you have to say to this person?
I think be yourself is the main thing. I would say, because I mean we all have different things that we can push, we can promote, and be authentic, because like, say for example, there's so many fitness girls out there doing these standard workouts, which are fantastic because they're giving other people more knowledge and more workouts to do, but don't try and copy that person, because that person's already there. Like you need to do what you're good at, and if you want to talk about something you want to talk about, because I couldn't sit here and talk about something that, one, I didn't have a clue about. Well, I don't have a clue about anything, but if I wasn't passionate about talking about something, then it's not going to come across the same way.
Yeah. So I think being real is probably the very, very first one.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking,
I think not like, I think being real, but I think if you're looking at the long game with anything, you have to be real, because like if you look at people in the fitness industry, like there's a lot of people who come and go, and the reason they come and go a lot of the time is because they're not real.
Yeah.
Whereas the ones that stay for a long time are like the good eggs, I suppose.
they're the authentic ones who are really there. They're showing their true colors, kind of thing. I think that's the best. The best advice, probably at the top of the heap. I think more specifically, I think frequency matters. The amount you're posting. If you're posting like one thing a week, or one thing every few days, not enough. You got to post especially if you're on YouTube, you got to post a video, 3-4 times a week. If you're on Instagram, it's got to be every day. I think content matters too. I think, I go on some people's, like, so now I'm looking for clients, right? I'm looking, not clients, for athletes for Hostile. I kind of look around here and there, just quietly looking. And I'll go to a guy's page and every single fucking photo is a selfie.
Yeah.
Like but I don't mean like let me rephrase. I don't mean a selfie like I'm wearing a different outfit or a different pose. It's like every photo is like a front relaxed with a shirt off. He's just going like this. And I'm like, okay, you're not going to get a big following if every fucking photo is exactly the same. You're not offering anybody.
Yeah, it's just boring, isn't it? Yeah, well, because I must admit, we scout for influencers as well. So I go and I prove probably about 20 to 40 a month. Yeah. So I look at Instagram pages, and some of the girls, they've got a really good look, but every single photo is them posing in the mirror, same pose, and it's boring. And it's just like, because of that, I don't have them on board.
I think sorry, go ahead, Carly. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, just saying, I think it's, you have to, variety on a page. So it's like, it's your shop window, isn't it? So if you've got things that are interesting on there for people to follow, either to motivate, to learn, or that's funny, to be inspired, then they're the kind of things you've got to go for. So it could be you telling your story. It could be something that people are going to learn from, or it could be inspiration and motivation. I think they're the key things to put on there. And that could be that you program your week in. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever. So Monday could be something to do with like a motivation. So it could be a workout. Tuesday could be you telling a story about something that you've gone through. So you have like different
set up a schedule.
You're telling.
Yeah. Well, I think the one thing people need to learn is you have to offer something for people to follow you. And I don't think that comes across often enough. I think people think, well, I have a nice physique and I'm good looking and everybody should just follow me. I've seen literally hundreds of people that are good looking with good physiques with no followers because they just post the same photo every day. And I'm like, that's not how it works. You have to offer somebody something. You have to offer them, like you said, motivation, information, something, some reason for them to come back. And if you look at the best influencers in the game, like if you look at like a Bradley Martin or whoever, they're not just standing there. Like their shit's different every day. He's entertaining because it's different. He's not posting the same thing every single day. So
life isn't a constant photo shoot, right?
Well, but it's just, it's frustrating because people want to take, right? They're like, look at me. I'm good looking. My physique is good. You should all be following me. And that's a take, like that's a take personality where you should be offering, you should be giving, and then people will follow you. So there's an equation to it. Like, it's not just, there's, like you said, be real, be frequent, have variety, and give something to people. Don't just take, because it's not, they won't follow you for that.
I don't have a huge following, right? But my strategy is I put up information like in my captions that I want to read, that I would want to read, right? I don't want to, like, it's boring if I just see some guy on the beach or leaning against his car, like he's got a new Range Rover or some shit like that, right? or wearing a new, like a matching tracksuit. I don't give a fuck about that. I couldn't care less. I see it all the time everywhere. Like that's where the Instagram TVs I put out and the cycle information, that's my kind of angle. I put out, that's what I'd want to read. So I put that out. I also think the second part too is once you have some sort of following, engagement, like don't be an arsehole and think that, it's, I've got so many messages and just ignore them all. Like these people are taking their time out. You're not that fucking important. Like you're not that important. Reply to people, give them even if it's a short answer, but acknowledge them, because you're no fucking better than them just because you've got a bigger number next to your following than they do, right?
The only time I would say somebody doesn't have to get back or maybe should is if they have like, some people have like 1 million followers or more or whatever, right? You're not going to be able to handle all the messages. So, but you should, like you said, you still do, as you're coming up, you won't have that excuse. You know what I mean? Right. If you're trying to build your base, you don't have that excuse, because that means you don't have any followers yet, or you have very few. So Ben's right 100%. You have to enter, and it's not just in DMs too, it's in comments. If you're not responding to comments, that matters too. So all these things matter. It's a full-time job. It really is. Yeah. Like it's not, I don't know. I mean, for some people they make it seem easy, but I don't find it to be easy at all. I feel like it's a full-time job. It takes a lot of effort to like make it work.
With Denise, I have to tell her like, hey, I might be sat on my phone, but I'm not just like sat there jacking off. I'm like, if I'm 9 to 5 in, I work from home. So I'm like, I'm on my phone. Yes, we're lucky because I can, we can stop in between work and I can have a conversation with you, but I need to reply to these people. I need to stay on top of it.
Well, for you, stay
on top of it.
For you, it's your clients too. It's not just DMs. You have all your clients are messaging and stuff.
100% of my business comes through my phone, firstly through Instagram, right? That's 100% of my business comes through that.
Yeah.
And then all of my clients have my WhatsApp. And I have clients in Australia, Malaysia, America. And it's 24/7, right? And I won't have days off.
Okay, let's take 2 more questions. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to keep you this long. Let's skip that one. Carly, do you watch UFC or no?
Yeah, I'm not into it probably like you guys are.
Okay, let's skip that one. This is a good one to finish with, actually, because it might be a little bit longer answer for some. I don't know. But when did everything click for you? Life, business, direction, and goals. Has everything clicked for you, Carly, or when did everything click for you? You feel like you're in a good place?
Yeah, I think more things clicked for me when me and Luke actually split up, because he always knew what my potential and what I could do, but where I suppose I was quite complacent and like comfortable in the way we was, like I never really pushed myself and I didn't believe in myself. But when we actually split up, it pushed me to do things that, and achieve things that he knew I could do, but I didn't believe in myself. So I would say, only kind of two odd years ago, I'd say, and that's
things
when
clicked.
I was like way happier, and when I downsized as well.
So how did you? So you think the key to your life kind of clicking was actually just being out on your own and having to make things work?
100%, because when even though it was like one of the hardest times of my life, like we split up, I lost my job, and then I stopped competing. And when I stopped competing, for 10 years, I was either Carly the fitness model or Carly competitor. So that was kind of like my tag.
Yeah.
And then because of all that, I didn't realize I don't know who I was. So I thought I had to recreate myself and build myself again and kind of find out what I like now and, who I actually was and wanted to be as a person.
That's actually, I think, the best thing you said. I think, Ben, I'm going to let you answer and I'll come back to that. Ben, what do you think?
I was going to add to Carly's, because I know that to be true. Everything she just said, certainly, and I know that was Luke's opinion. I don't want to be too, deep and emotional, but he was incredibly proud of what Carly became after they broke up. That was, he would say that to me countless times.
What was your moment, I think, that you felt like things kind of clicked for you, or have you gotten there yet, or in your life, Ben?
No, I don't think I'm there yet. I'm working towards it. I thought I was on my way there 6 years ago before my motorbike accident. I mean, I was living in London. I was earning very good money, personal training. Like I was in the West End of London and earning really good money. I had an apartment on the Thames, and I thought I thought I had it all figured out. And then the crash happened, and I think the crash is like my version of what Carly had with, that was her moment where the rug got whipped from under my feet.
Yeah.
And I was like living back at my dad's house for 3 years, trying to, walk again, this and that. So I had to start over. I think I'm on my way, but I don't think I'm there yet. Like I'm moving here. Like I had little moments where they just, I get confirmation that I'm on the right path, right?
You're working towards it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm not there, but I think the last 6 months to year, last year or two, things have started to come together a bit more for me, both business and relationship and all of that stuff. I think it's a work in progress, and I like that. I don't want to ever feel like I've reached the top yet. I want to in my life. I don't mean the top of.
Yeah.
But I think with you, I find that you're more creating what you actually did want. Like whenever you used to speak to me and Luke, like the things that you actually wanted in life, you're kind of creating that now. And I think like for what I see, you feel a lot more at peace and at ease with everything than like you ever have done.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, that's definitely true. I think back certainly 2 years ago and before then, before my accident, I was an arrogant prick. And I thought I wanted like a flashy lifestyle with like girls falling off my arms. You know what I mean? Like the typical, like I was 25, 26 living in London, and I was just a bit flash, a bit arrogant and a bit of a cunt. But I think the accident grew me up some more. And now coming into my 30s, I've become a bit more of an adult now, and the smaller things in life are giving me pleasure and some peace rather than chasing a Ferrari and watches and cars,
How old are you, Ben?
32.
Yeah. Okay. So when I was coming up, I always thought like reaching your goals or reaching the part that makes you click was kind of achieving things. So I thought, once I turn pro, everything's going to click, and nothing clicked. And then when I started getting like checks, I started getting a couple good contracts and shit. I'm like, once I get the money, then things will click. And then nothing fucking clicked. Then I thought, once I have a car and an apartment and I own all my shit, then nothing. None of the fucking material shit made any difference. I didn't think anything clicked until it's what Carly said, which was I found myself, which sounds really it sounds really fluffy and cheesy, whatever. But somewhere around age 34, 35, I started to become comfortable with who I was and bodybuilding and the size I was and who I was and as a person and all those things. And it wasn't until that point that I was like, okay, this is the life I wanted to create. And everything seemed like it clicked at that point. But it doesn't mean, so I guess to answer the question, it's almost like it feels more like an emotional thing than it does a material thing. I think you can have all the shit in the world that you want and still feel like nothing's clicking. Yeah. So it's like you gotta figure out what's going on inside first. And but it's to your point, Ben, it's still not sad. Like you're never satisfied. You're not like, just because something clicks, it doesn't mean you're like, oh, okay, I'm done. I can fucking just lay on my ass now. I still have like a million more things I want to do, right?
I'm guilty of, if things get too comfortable, I'm a little bit of a risk taker, and I'll jump and change something completely. I get bored and I have to do something drastic.
Yeah.
So I have to keep myself interested. I have to keep selling something in front of me to aim at doing. So I'm one of these people that if I get a bit of money, I'm going to spend it all. Like I don't save, I don't do this. I take risks, but I think that keeps me stimulated and keeps me moving forward.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Carly, before we go, I want to ask you, because I know there's a lot of women in the fitness industry, and I will say this, even if it's offensive to some women don't make the same amount of money contractually that men make in the bodybuilding world. How hard was it for you to start your business, run your business? Are you happy you started your business? do you think other women can do something like this? Not necessarily the same thing with the clothing, but like, would you tell another female to do this kind of thing to be able to kind of supplement their life and make a living and have a career for themselves?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when I was actually in the fitness industry and competing, I found it very hard to understand why us women wasn't getting paid as much, and that kind of thing when it comes to sponsors.
Yeah.
So, but that's just reality. That's just the way it is, and that's what sells. Is the big guys. That's what sells,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to remember that. Like, a muscular woman isn't going to sell a product as much if it's, say, like whey protein or whatever. So I think you can build businesses out of what we do. You just have to find something you're passionate with as well, and you have to find something that is kind of missing. Like, for me, the reason I started is because I couldn't find any leggings that fitted me properly because of the size of my legs compared to the size of my waist and everything. So when I was training, I felt uncomfortable, or they were see-through or whatever. So I found I found something that was missing, and then I kind of acted upon that. So I think it's not actually following what anyone else is doing. It's just finding something that, one, you're passionate about, and two, something a problem that you could solve.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel happy staying in the fitness industry though? Is it something that keeps you connected to your passion?
I don't feel like in it that much, to be honest with you.
Okay. So
like, it's a completely different part of it, because now it's more of I speak to more manufacturers and different other business people talking about different brands, and so I'm kind of out of the competitive side of it. So it's like I'm kind of I'm still in it but not.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I decided to do with the supplement company, right? Because even after I retire, if I retire from bodybuilding, I'm not on the competitive side, but I feel like I can still stay in the industry because I'm doing the supplements, right? So it's that's kind of what I meant was, since you're still doing clothing brands for fitness people, it kind of keeps you connected even though you're not competing.
Yeah, 100%. And because like yourself, you're looking at all the different upcoming competitors and everything, you're still kind of in it because you're interested to see who's next and, other people's physiques and everything. Yeah.
Okay, guys, I think we've been on for like an hour and a half. Ben, is there anything you want to say before we go? Do you like your new microphone? Are you going to start using a spoon, or are you going to start using a fork in the future like normal people, or what?
I will never use a fork, out of principle now.
I think he does need to get a ring light though, because he's getting darker and darker.
I know.
It's because the sun is moving that way. I do have a request, Carly. I have a request for Carly. Glutewear men's range white leggings sample. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't
do that.
you know what? Okay, I'll have to send them to you because Luke was the one who was going to trial them all out, because we actually had them. We were getting samples.
I do have a giant ass, so
you are the main man.
So you have giant what? Giant what? Ass?
Yeah. Carly, my ass is huge. Check out a big ass.
Actually, Carly,
it's actually before we switch off, did Ben ever tell you that how Luke and Ben actually met?
No. Well, maybe. He said he didn't even like Ben.
No, he didn't. He did. It was so funny because I started.
He said his exact words were he dressed like a cunt.
Yeah, it was, because he's like, I used to speak to Ben at Ripped when he was PT in there, and Luke always used to say, "Oh, you see that cunt over there? Look at the way he dresses. Look at his hair." And I was like, "Babes, he's a really nice guy." And he's like, "No, he's not." And then all of a sudden, they're best mates.
Luke always hated good-looking guys.
You think he was? I was just gonna say. I think he was jealous. Maybe he was like. All right. Okay, guys. You know what, Carly? I appreciate you coming on. Ben, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you guys very much. I'll try and get this up today. If not today, it'll be up tomorrow for sure.
Wicked. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. All right. Have a good day, guys.
See you later.
Bye-bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.